Hey guys, welcome to another Tuesday edition of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick. It's Tuesday, it's time to talk about some new releases. There's almost 300 albums that are coming out this Friday, August 19th. I got 15 I'm going to talk about today. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them all out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group. There's also one for our merch page. There's another one for the Spotify and Apple Music weekly playlist that we put together. There's also a link for the Patreon page. So make sure you go check all those out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. Like I said back in the intro, there's almost 300 albums coming out this Friday, the 19th. I'm only going to talk about 15 of them, though. So if there's something I don't talk about in the show today, make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what else is coming out. There always tends to be something I kind of miss every week. I will say also, of these 15 albums, if you're not able to find any of these in your local record store, down in the links, down in the show description, I'm going to put links for everything. At least you'll be able to pick them up off of Amazon. All these are available on Amazon. I will also say that I think there's, if you hang on to the very end, there are, I think, 4 or 5 Walmart exclusives that are coming out this week that I'm going to talk about also. So I'm a pretty big Alice Cooper fan. I will say I'm more of a fan of the Alice Cooper band music than the solo stuff. But I will say that this week you're getting a reissue of my favorite Alice Cooper album, Killer. This is actually the 50th anniversary release of this. This is by Friday Music, and this includes the calendar, the 1972 calendar that was included with the original release. This was, I think this is a reissue of what Friday Music did. It's either late last year or beginning of part of this year. They reissued Killer, so I think it's kind of the same thing. This is going to run you $40 online. And at least from what I saw online, there's nothing I saw that is different from this release than what the last Friday Music release of this was. But I've already got a couple of copies of this album, so I'm not going to pick this one up. But it is a great album. If you're not familiar with Killer, definitely check it out because it's a great album. Also this week you're getting Blondie Live reissue. This was originally released back in 1999, and this was recorded during their comeback tour in 98 to 99. I think it was November of 1998 to August of 1999 is when all these tracks were recorded. And this is going to run you $35 online. And this is stuff that Blondie had done, obviously, from the tracks from the beginning part of their career, and that comeback album in the late 90s. So, I haven't listened to any of this. Like I said, it's been available since 99. I've never listened to any of this, but I'm a fan, a casual fan of some of the earlier Blondie stuff. So, I'll at least stream it and check it out. There is a couple of brand new albums coming out this week. This first one, this is Demi Lovato. I think it's Holy Fuck, I think is how you say it, but it's Fvck. I think that's how you say it. But anyway, this is her new album. This is her 8th studio album. And from what I've heard off this, I think there's one single that's been dropped already. It sounds like there's a lot more of a rock influence to this than there were on a couple of her last couple of albums. So I'll definitely check that one out. $26 online. Even for $26, I'll probably pass on it, but I'll definitely at least stream it because, like I said, that first track I heard off of it actually was pretty good. So, it definitely sounds pretty cool. And then also this week you've got the new album from Fvck Death Punch coming out. This is Afterlife. From what I saw online, this is going to be, at least from the pictures I saw, it looks like it's going to be on white vinyl. I know that there is a Walmart exclusive of this being released, but it got pushed back until October. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that one. But this new album, it's going to run you $32 online. This is their 9th studio album. Obviously, if you're not familiar with Fvck Death Punch, they are one of those heavy metal kind of bands. I'm not a huge fan of heavy metal, but they do have a couple of good tracks, so I'll at least stream that and the Demi Lovato album. If you guys have been watching the show for a while, you guys know I'm a big jazz guy. And so there's 2 new releases coming from the Blue Note Classic series this week, and both these look pretty cool. This first one, this is Wayne Shorter, Adam's Apple. This was originally released back in 1966, and it's actually got a pretty good list on here. You get Herbie Hancock, Reggie Workman, and Joe Chambers all on this album, along with Wayne Shorter. Of course, these Blue Note series releases, they're always mastered by Kevin Gray from the original analog tapes. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. That's going to run you $24. And then you've also got Larry Young Unity also being released this week. And this is original release back in 1965. You got Woody Shaw on trumpet. You've got Joe Henderson on saxophone and Alvin Jones on drums. So another great lineup. This is going to be a couple more dollars. It's going to run you $28 online. So, definitely those two. That's one thing I've loved about these Blue Note Classic Series releases is I found a lot of great albums through these series, and they're pretty reasonably priced, especially when you consider what other stuff is going for nowadays. But, $24 and $20 for two, hopefully great jazz albums. I'm definitely good for that. This week you've also got Essential by the Divinyls being released, or being reissued at least. This is a compilation from 1991 of tracks from their first 3 albums, including the hit "I Touch Myself." But if you're not familiar with the Divinyls and their earlier couple of albums, they've got some great music on there. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. There's 2 different versions that's being released. There's a blue with orange splatter, and there's an orange with blue splatter. But they're only limited to 500 copies each, so that's pretty limited. Hopefully, there's also at least a standard black, version that's going to be widely available also. But I think this is the first time this has ever been released on vinyl, so that's definitely a cool one to check out. It's going to run you $25, so not a bad price. This week you've also got "Finally Enough Love" by Madonna being released. This is a new career-spanning compilation, and this celebrates her 50 number 1 club hit singles. So, if you're a fan of a lot of those, kind of dancier kind of Madonna tracks, it's definitely a cool one to check out. And this includes her favorite remixes and then rare and unreleased versions also. So definitely some cool stuff to check out on here. And this is all newly remastered also. So I saw there's 2 different versions that's available though. There's a black version that's going to run you $33, and then there's a silver version that's going to run you $35. So I'll make sure I put links for both of those down below if you want to check out those albums. Another new album that's being released this week. This is "Viva Las Vengeance" by Panic! At the Disco. This is Panic! At the Disco's 7th studio album. But the interesting thing about Panic! At the Disco is for their first 4 albums, they were a band. There was actually, different members of the band. But this is the 3rd release from Panic! At the Disco that is basically a solo project of Brendon Urie. I know that, like I said, he's been doing this since 2015. Has been only Brendon Urie in the band. And he does everything on here. He's obviously does all the vocals. He plays guitar, he plays bass, and he plays drums on this. So, I haven't been a huge fan of the last couple of Panic! At the Disco albums, but I'll at least stream that one. There are multiple variants of this album that's going to be available. I've seen, I know there's I think there's a yellow Walmart exclusive. Maybe it was the Amazon exclusive is yellow. But anyway, there's a yellow one, there's a tan one, there's, I've seen 3 or 4 different exclusive versions of these variants. I think there's also a Urban Outfitters version. So, there should be, definitely plenty of copies of this album to kind of go around. At one time, I kind of hated that bands did all these different variants. But I don't know. I've kind of gotten used to it over the last couple of years. I think it's kind of where music has, or at least vinyl has been for the last couple of years. But, I don't know. It's kind of cool to go and see the different colors, especially if they're like, somehow go along with the album cover, which some of these do, some of them don't. I don't know. It's an album that I'm going to stream first before I buy it. But if you are interested in the album, it's only going to run you about $25 online. So not a super expensive album. But, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been huge fans of their last couple of albums, but so I'll definitely stream this one and check it out. Neil Young has been releasing some really cool stuff this year, kind of digging back through his archives and releasing some material that hasn't been available before or hasn't been available in a really long time. So this week you've got Neil Young and the Restless. This is El Dorado. This was originally released back in 1989, and this is the first time it's been available on vinyl outside of Australia. I guess Australia was the only place that got a vinyl pressing of this. And this is a 5-track mini album. So I haven't heard anything off this. I'm definitely interested in checking this one out. It's only running $17, so it's definitely not a bad price. And then you've also got Oasis, Be Here Now, being reissued this week. It's a double LP. It was originally released back in 1997, and this is in celebration of this album's 25th anniversary. So, definitely a cool one to check out. I'll say that this album was interesting when it was released, because Be Here Now came after Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory, which were two huge albums. And then when Be Here Now came out, I don't know if it was Oasis or their management company, decided to kind of, they want to kind of limit the hype around this album. So I know there was like non-disclosure agreements that the press had to sign to be able to listen to anything off the album before it was released. And I think some of those tactics really kind of alienated some people in the press and some of the music critics out there. So, this album isn't as widely regarded as the first two albums, but this is a really good album. I'll say the Oasis, the first probably 3 or 4 albums at least, were all really great albums. So definitely make sure you go check that out if you're a fan of their music. This is going to run you about $40 online. So, yeah, it's kind of creeping up there in price. If it's a double album, I'd rather kind of be in the $33 to $35 range. But, it's kind of where we're at right now as far as pricing goes. So there's also 4 Walmart exclusives being released this week. You get 3 by Green Day and then 1 by Korn. So the Green Day releases, you've got Dookie, which of course was originally released back in 1994. Going to run you $22. There's also International Super Hits, also going to run you $22. Was released back in 2001, and actually I think when it was released in 2001, it was actually released as a whole DVD package and included all of the all their music videos also. So that's kind of a it's an album that I really haven't thought about really since then, but it's $22. I'll probably pick up both of those, even though I do already have a copy of Dookie. And then you've also got American Idiot, which is going to run you a little more. It's going to be $30 on their website. American Idiot was a huge hit, released back in 2004. They went on to do like a Broadway show and all sorts of stuff with that the music from that album. So, you got those 3 Green Day releases, and then you've also got Korn, Follow the Leader. It's going to be released. It's going to run you $27. Of course, that album was released back in 1998. All 4 of those are great albums. I'll probably end up actually picking up all 4 of those, even though, like I said, I've got a copy of Dookie. I've also got a copy of American Idiot, but, I'm kind of a sucker when it comes to those colored albums. So, I'll pick them up and check them out, and hopefully at some point kind of report back and compare them to what my standard releases sound like. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Like I said, almost 300 albums that are coming out this Friday. I only talked about 15 of them, though, so if there's something I didn't talk about today, make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what else is coming out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.